What if I told you that the key to reigniting deep, fulfilling pleasure after 60 has been quietly living inside your body this whole time? No hormones, no side effects, no complicated routines. It may sound too good to be true, but trust me, it's not. I'm Dr. Jen Gunter, and after more than 30 years as a physician specializing in women's health, I've seen just how powerful it can be when women reclaim their intimate confidence. In fact, some of the most effective solutions for pleasure, arousal, and connection are already within you, just waiting to be awakened. Today, I'm sharing something most women have never been told. 3 precise spots on your body that, when gently tapped before intimacy, can stimulate your natural arousal response, enhance lubrication, and create deeper, more pleasurable sensations safely and naturally. This isn't a gimmick. It's backed by ancient acupressure wisdom and supported by modern medical understanding. Yet most women over 60 go their entire lives without discovering this simple secret. Over the next few minutes, I'll walk you through each point, how to tap them, when to do it, and why they work. You won't need any special equipment, just your own hands and a quiet moment with yourself. I'll also show you a 90-second ritual I've taught to many of my patients, women who once felt disconnected or discouraged, and how it transformed their relationship with intimacy, their bodies, and themselves. But before we jump into the how, let's understand the why. Because when you know what's really going on inside your body, it's easier to trust the process and even easier to trust yourself. As we age, especially past 60, the body doesn't always respond to intimacy the same way it used to. It's not just hormones. It's a deeper interaction between your nervous system, blood circulation, and stress. This is where tapping becomes a game changer. By stimulating very specific pressure points, you send a gentle signal to your body that says, relax, you're safe. It's okay to open up. It's like flipping a hidden biological switch from tension to readiness, from anxiety to ease. So let's take a closer look at how tapping works, both neurologically and physically, and why these 3 body points have such a powerful impact. 1. Why tapping works. To be honest, when I first heard about tapping as a way to support sexual wellness, I was skeptical too. As someone trained in Western medicine, my instinct was to look at hormone levels, prescriptions, or procedures. But the more I listened to my patients, studied the research, and observed real results, I realized something profound. Not every answer comes in a bottle. Some of the best answers come from within your own body. You see, the human body is designed for connection. But as we get older, that internal wiring can fray. Blood flow slows, nerves become less sensitive, and stress, especially around intimacy, takes a heavier toll. Many women begin to think, maybe this is just how it is now. But it doesn't have to be. Tapping is more than just touch. It's a subtle conversation between your brain and your body, your mind and your pelvic floor. When you apply rhythmic pressure to certain areas, it stimulates nerve endings that activate the parasympathetic nervous system, your body's natural green light mode. This relaxes muscles, steadies the heart rate, and opens up blood vessels, improving circulation to the clitoris and vaginal tissues, essential for arousal and lubrication. These changes don't happen when you're stressed. They happen when you're calm and in flow. Tapping helps you create that internal shift, naturally, gently, and consistently. I've watched countless women regain sensitivity and pleasure, not because their hormones changed, but because their bodies were finally given permission to respond. And now let me introduce you to the first point, a powerful zone that holds more energy than most women ever realize. Point 1, CV6, Sea of Energy, lower abdomen. I once shared this point with a patient named Carol, a thoughtful, soft-spoken woman in her early 70s who had silently carried years of emotional weight. When I showed her where to place her fingers, just a few widths below her navel, she looked at me with surprise and asked, "You mean here?" "That's all." I smiled and said yes, because sometimes the most powerful things we can do for ourselves are also the simplest. And yes, that one spot can change everything. The CV6 point, often referred to in Eastern medicine as the sea of energy, is more than just an anatomical location. It's a reservoir of vitality. It's a space where ancient traditions believed life force gathers, especially for women. And now, modern science is beginning to catch up. We know that this area lies near a web of nerves and blood vessels deeply connected to the reproductive and pelvic systems, structures that play a crucial role in arousal, circulation, and hormonal balance. When you gently tap or massage this point, you're not just stimulating blood flow, you're awakening parts of yourself that may have gone quiet over time. Many women over 60 experience a sense of disconnection from this part of their body. Sometimes because of menopause, sometimes from emotional distance, or even unspoken grief around changing intimacy. But this small act of focused touch can begin to reopen that connection. It's not about force, it's about intention. I always remind women, don't just tap with your fingers, tap with breath, with presence, with kindness. As you tap gently for about a minute, take deep, slow breaths. Imagine warmth building in your core. Imagine your blood flowing smoothly, your body waking up. You might feel a soft heat or even a tingling sensation. That's your energy responding, your body remembering its rhythm. Some women tell me they begin to cry during this practice. That's okay. That's healing. The sea of energy doesn't just carry physical power. It holds emotional memory. Tapping here can slowly release stored tension and invite a renewed sense of safety and sensuality into your body. This point is your anchor, your reset button, your reminder that energy, pleasure, and connection still live within you, always. Now that you've grounded yourself in your core, let's move to the second point, one that soothes the mental tension that often blocks pleasure before it even begins. Point 2. K1 Bubbling Spring Sole of the Foot. Susan, a 68-year-old patient of mine, once confided something many women are too afraid to say aloud. "It's not that I don't want to be close," she whispered. "It's that I panic before it even begins." Her desire was still alive, but her mind raced with fears. What if it hurts? What if I freeze? What if I disappoint him? These thoughts built a wall between her and her body. And no matter how much she wanted to feel connected, the tension always took over. That's when I introduced her to one of my favorite yet often overlooked self-care points, K1, also known as the bubbling spring. Located on the sole of your foot, just beneath the ball, this spot may not seem connected to intimacy, but it holds surprising power. In traditional Chinese medicine, K1 is the entry point for the kidney meridian, which is associated with vitality, calm, and grounded energy. Western science supports this too. Stimulating the sole of the foot engages the parasympathetic nervous system, responsible for rest, digestion, and emotional regulation. When you tap or gently press this point, you send your body a message it desperately needs to hear. You're safe. You can relax. For women like Susan, and maybe even for you, this is a game changer. Tension and anxiety often live in the body without us realizing it, quietly hijacking moments of connection. We clench. We hold our breath. We disconnect. The K1 point helps disrupt that pattern. Susan began tapping this point every night, just 20 to 30 seconds on each foot, while sitting on the edge of her bed. It became her ritual. Within weeks, she noticed she was sleeping more deeply, waking with less tension, and most importantly, approaching intimacy without that old wall of fear. Her body, once guarded, had begun to trust again. There's something deeply symbolic about touching your own feet. It brings you back down from the chaos of your thoughts and into your body. It roots you. And when paired with the energy of the CV6 point in the abdomen, it forms a powerful connection between your emotional center and your physical grounding. Together, they form a foundation, a space where calm meets desire and safety meets sensation. And now, with these 2 points activated, let's complete the triangle with a third point, one that supports hormonal balance, clarity, and connection from within. Point 3, GV20, 100 meetings, top of the head. Eleanor, a graceful and thoughtful 72-year-old woman, sat across from me one afternoon, her voice trembling just slightly. "My heart wants intimacy," she said, "but my mind won't follow." I remember the look in her eyes, not of resistance, but of deep longing mixed with confusion. She had done the work. She had honored her body, nurtured her relationships, even softened the tightness in her abdomen and feet. But still, when the moment came, something held her back. So many women feel this way. Especially as we grow older and wiser, we carry not just the weight of the years, but the narratives, the wounds, and the voices in our heads. Even when the body begins to open again, the mind sometimes resists. Thoughts begin to swirl. I don't look the same. What if I'm not desirable anymore? What if I forget how? Or worse, the echoes of past pain and judgment rise up, uninvited and loud. These mental patterns block connection before it has a chance to bloom. That's where GV20 comes in. Known in Chinese medicine as the 100 meetings point, this spot sits at the very top of the head, right where your fingertips would land if you drew a line from ear to ear and from your nose over the crown. It's called the 100 meetings because it's where energy channels from the entire body converge. It's a place of integration, clarity, and deep inner peace. When you gently tap or press this point for just 20 to 30 seconds, something remarkable begins to happen. Your mind starts to quiet, not just mentally, but physiologically. Your parasympathetic system activates. Your breathing slows. Your shoulders relax. That familiar grip of anxious thought begins to loosen. You don't have to talk yourself into calmness. Your body does it for you. Women like Eleanor have found this point to be a profound ally in reclaiming intimacy, not as a performance, but as a sacred, present experience. One woman told me, "It's like the light switches back on in my head, and suddenly I feel whole again." That's the magic of GV20. It's not about erasing your thoughts. It's about giving your mind the permission to rest and your heart the space to feel. And when you combine GV20 with the lower 2 points, CV6 in your abdomen and K1 in the soles of your feet, you complete a powerful circuit, grounding, awakening, and now clarity. From your center to your roots, and now to your crown, energy flows smoothly and intentionally. You create an internal environment where intimacy feels not just possible, but safe, beautiful, and deeply personal. This final point invites your mind to come home to your body, to stop fighting and start trusting, to shift from judgment into joy, because real intimacy doesn't begin with another person. It begins with your nervous system, your self-trust, and your willingness to feel. Now that you've discovered each of these powerful points, let me guide you through how to bring them together in one beautiful 90-second ritual, a practice that women across the world are calling life-changing. The sequence tap method, your 90-second ritual. Let's take a moment to shift the narrative. This isn't about doing more. It's about doing less, with deeper presence and compassion. For too long, intimacy and self-connection have felt complicated, clinical, or even out of reach. But what if I told you that just 2 quiet minutes a day could gently reopen the doorway to warmth, ease, and emotional closeness? That's what the sequence tap method is designed for. a simple, beautiful ritual that connects three powerful energy points in your body, bringing circulation, clarity, and calmness back into alignment. Here's how to begin your new ritual. 1. Start at CV6, the C of energy, lower abdomen. Place your fingers just below your belly button and begin tapping gently. Breathe deeply. Do this for about 30 seconds. This point awakens your pelvic energy, supports circulation, and softens any emotional blocks you may be carrying, like shame, grief, or frustration. It's where many women feel disconnected without knowing why. With each tap, imagine warmth returning, like sunlight rising in your belly. 2. Move to GV20, the 100 meetings, top of the head. Now bring your fingertips to the very top of your head. Gently tap for another 30 seconds. This point clears mental fog and quiets the mind. If you've struggled with intrusive thoughts or self-doubt during intimacy, this step helps you let go. Feel your breath slow, your jaw soften. This is where your body and mind meet again. 3. Finish at K1, the bubbling spring, sole of each foot. Finally, sit comfortably and reach for your feet, just beneath the balls. Tap both feet for 15 to 30 seconds each. This grounds your energy and soothes your nervous system. You're telling your body, it's safe now. You can trust this moment. Many women say this step helps them feel steady, emotionally held, and deeply calm. Throughout the ritual, keep your breathing soft and steady. Inhale, exhale. Let go of any sense of performance. You're not trying to fix anything. You're simply reconnecting with yourself, with your rhythm, your energy, your wisdom. This entire practice takes less than 2 minutes. Yet the effects ripple out far beyond that. It sets the emotional stage for everything that follows: relaxation, openness, readiness, and confidence. What to do next? Your simple action plan. Now that you understand the how, let's talk about the what next. This is your moment, not just to learn something new, but to integrate it, to make it yours. Backhand index pointing right begin tonight. Don't wait for the perfect time or mood. Choose a moment of quiet before bed or just before intimacy to start this ritual. Let it feel private, sacred, yours. Backhand index pointing right, follow the sequence exactly. CV6, GV20, K1, always in that order. Think of it as a journey from your emotional core to your mind, down into your grounding center. Take 3 gentle breaths between each point to reset your body and focus. Backhand index pointing right, commit to 7 days. Make this part of your rhythm, like brushing your teeth or washing your face. Something small, consistent, and powerful. Trust that repetition builds comfort. Backhand index pointing right, pay attention to how you feel. Not just physically, but emotionally. Do you feel softer? More open? More curious? That's progress. Even subtle shifts are meaningful. Healing isn't always loud. It's often quiet and tender. Backhand index pointing right, invite your partner, if it feels right. Many women have found that involving their partner in this ritual, whether by sharing or even tapping together, creates deeper emotional closeness. It builds trust without pressure. After a week, notice what's changed. Do you feel more in tune with your body? More aware of your breath? More comfortable with the idea of touch, closeness, and desire? If the answer is yes, keep going. Your body is not confused or failing. It's remembering. And so is your heart. If there's one message I hope stays with you, it's this. Your sensuality did not expire with your youth. The world may try to whisper otherwise. It may say that desire fades, that discomfort is just part of aging, that intimacy is no longer important. But I don't believe that, and neither should you. What you've learned today isn't just a wellness technique, it's a reclamation. A reminder that your body is still wise, still responsive, still capable of deep joy and connection. So please, don't walk away from this thinking about what's faded. Walk away thinking about what's returning. Your warmth, your confidence, your inner rhythm, and the quiet, powerful truth that pleasure is still yours to claim. This is Dr. Jen Gunter, and if there's one truth I've learned in all my years of practice, it's this. The most powerful woman in the room is not the youngest. It's the one who listens to her body with love. If something in this message spoke to you, type "I'm ready" in the comments. And please, share this with a sister, a friend, a mother. You never know who's been silently waiting for a message like this. Your story matters. Your pleasure matters. And your next chapter is just beginning.